4. Child's marijuana plantations and the first assimilation. At Outpost 31, there is no one in the recreation room. A dog with a bandage walks past the room. In the kitchen, Chef Knowles is cooking. His stereo is playing loudly. Station manager Gary stops at the kitchen door and orders the volume of the stereos to be turned down. Gary walks into the communication room and notices Windows dozing by the receiver. Gary turns the volume to high. Windows wakes up and startles. The dog is walking in the corridor of the sleeping quarters. One of the doors of the sleeping quarters is open. The dog goes to the door. Dog looks at the corridor in both directions. No one. The dog goes to the room. In the room, the man notices the dog and mumbles, "Hello, boy." Next, the sound of a glass breaking, a muffled scuffling. The door is slammed shut from the inside, and then silence. Outside, Fooch is finishing his daily jog around the building. He goes outside into the tunnel, descends the stairs. In the tunnel, Fook passes an underground dog kennel and Clark, who is transporting dog food with a wheelbarrow. Clark feeds the 7 dogs in the kennel. In the underground passage, near the fuel supply bladders, a happy Childs goes to the warehouse door with many locks. Childs opens the locks and goes inside, where there are several marijuana plants. Childs talks to the plants as if to his own children. While watering the plants, Childs notices a dog behind him, its bandage off. Childs chases the dog away. In the hallway of the main building, Blair notices a large bandage on the floor, crushed and shredded. Palmer works on the generator. He hears the sound of an approaching helicopter. The dog excitedly jumps out the window to look out. At the same time, Palmer's toolbox falls to the floor. Palmer gets angry and tells Clark to keep the dog under control. MacReady and Copper land in a helicopter at Outpost 31. In the movie, the events presented in the script are shown before MacReady and Copper begin to investigate the Norwegian camp. In the script, the events are shown after MacReady and Copper have explored the Norwegian camp. In addition, there are scenes in the script that are not in the movie, and a few scenes are slightly different. First, the dog in the movie doesn't have a bandage because it hasn't been hit by a bullet. The significance of the bond in the story of the script is central. It tells at what stage things assimilation has taken place. In the movie, Bennings orders Knowles' stereo to be quieter, not Gary, as in the script. In the movie, the dog walks straight into the sleeping room and there is no "hello boy" comment, fight in the room, or broken glass. Gary's going to the communication room to wake up Windows is shown significantly later in the film. After MacReady and Copper present the burnt body found at Norwegian Station. Scenes that are not in the movie include Fooch running through the underground passage where the kennel is, and Child's secret marijuana farm. Also, an exception to the film, in the script, Blair finds the mutilated bandages, which is a sign of the thing's assimilation with another living thing. 5. That's the point. I'm not sure it is any kind of cell structure. In the station manager Gary's room, the crew watches the videos found on the Norwegian station, while Norris looks through the Norwegian's notes. Norris notices that the Norwegians spent a lot of time 4 miles from their camp. The crew gets tired of watching videos. There are 9 hours of video, and so far the video hasn't offered anything special. Next, the crew listens to the audio tapes. On the tapes, the crew first hears a calm voice, and then a loud blast, followed by pounding, the sounds of confusion, voices, loud, frenetic, men's feet running up and down wooden floorboards, a gurgling, a hissing, screams, and then a screeching. More blasts mixed with the din of wild, carnage-wrought cries, and then more screeching, a screeching unlike anything these men have ever heard. The crew guesses what is happening on the audio tape. Copper wants to show the crew in the infirmary the find from the Norwegian camp. There is a burnt body in the infirmary, and it is disfigured in many different ways. Copper, along with Blair and Fooch, begins to perform an autopsy on the body. In the rec room, the rest of the crew is relaxing. Bennings gets annoyed with the dog in the room and tells Clark to take it to the kennel. In the lab, Copper performs an autopsy on the Norwegian that Gary shot in the outpost 31 yard. Copper states that based on the autopsy, nothing special is found in the body. Blair confirms from the sample that there are no traces of drugs or alcohol on the body. Meanwhile, Clark takes the dog to the kennel. The dog has been given a new bandage. The other dogs curiously welcome the new dog. In one bedroom, Palmer and Childs watch old TV game shows on video and smoke a joint. In the room next to the rec room, MacReady is bored watching videos of the Norwegians. In the lab, Blair notices something unusual in the microscope and asks Copper to look at it. Copper is amazed. Fooch is also confused and asks, "What in the world kind of cell structure is this?" Blair replies, "That's the point. I'm not sure it is any kind of cell structure." Again, there are scenes in the script that are not in the movie, and there are small differences in the scenes. In the film, the crew examines the videos significantly later, after the events at the kennel. In script, the crew doesn't immediately find anything special in the videos. Only the audio tapes reveal the sounds of vague events. In the film, the crew does not listen to the audio tapes, even though Copper brings them from the Norwegian station. In the script, going through the video and audio tapes earlier is more logical from the point of view of the plot. It builds a better background for future events than in the film. The film shows a powerful kennel scene before the crew goes through the footage. This isn't ideal for movie phasing. In the script, many smaller scenes are in a slightly different order, and the film also lacks a scene where MacReady continues to go through the video footage alone. Several scenes from the script have been filmed for the film, which are not shown in the final theatrical version. For example, the autopsy scene where Copper states, "That's the point. I'm not sure it is any kind of cell structure." 6. Kennel scene and MacReady and inflatable model. Night falls on Outpost 31. It's 4:30. The crew is asleep. Bleary-eyed, MacReady is in the process of blowing up some strange inflatable object. As he puffs away, he still keeps an eye on the Norwegian videotapes. His balloon begins to take shape. It blossoms into a life-size replica of a full-breasted woman. Something on the tape catches his eye. He rewinds, then starts it forward again. MacReady notices in the video that the Norwegians find something on the glacier. In the video, the Norwegians blow up the ice and find something dark and metallic in the ice. MacReady is startled and lets go of the inflatable mannequin, which deflates and flies around the room. In the kennel, the new dog looks at the other dogs, who are sleeping peacefully. The other dogs wake up when they sense something strange about the new dog and they attack the new dog. The new dog reacts. The kennel roars. MacReady goes through the videos, now fascinated by the material. He hears the far-off clamor of the dogs. MacReady goes into Clark's bedroom, wakes Clark up, and tells him to go see what's going on in the kennel. In the kennel, two dogs knock down Clark, growls, barks, snarls, and a screeching from within. MacReady goes to the kitchen to get some beer and hears a distant scream from the kennel. He sets off the fire alarm. Chaos ensues. Gary and MacReady arm themselves and the crew goes to the kennel. Bennings wakes up Childs and tells Childs that MacReady says to get the flamethrower. There is total confusion in the kennel. MacReady finds Clark in the flashlight and dogs fighting in the corner. MacReady is about to shoot the dogs in the corner with the shotgun, but Clark stops him. Clark goes to the corner to separate the dogs with an axe. From out of nowhere, a large, bristly, arachnid-like leg springs up and wraps around Clark's axe. It sends Clark smashing violently into the wall. Gary starts shooting at the dogs. Childs arrives with a flamethrower. MacReady orders a blast at the dogs. Part of the kennel catches fire. Childs continues to burn the object and the rest of the crew put out the kennel fire. Eventually, things hissing and gurgling fade. The famous kennel scene from the movie is different in the script. The background events before the kennel scene are also different, and it is structured perhaps a little more logically than the movie. MacReady's focus from the Norwegian video to the rubber woman and then back to the content of the Norwegian videos is completely different from the film. MacReady and the inflatable model are not in the movie at all, although several photos of the scene have been leaked to the public. This proves that the scene has been filmed. MacReady's findings from the Norwegians' videos are presented in the film as joint findings of the whole crew. The alarm to the kennel occurs while MacReady is watching the videos, and unlike in the movie. In the script, MacReady wakes Clark up and tells him to go see what's going on in the kennel. Also, the events in the kennel differ from the scenes shown in the film. For example, the other dogs attack the dog thing and Clark goes inside the kennel to separate the dogs. In the movie, dog thing's transformation and actions in the kennel are shown more strongly than in the script.